Chosen one, pause for a moment and listen carefully because something has already started moving in your life. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. There is a quiet shift unfolding beneath the surface of your days, a shift so subtle that most people would overlook it completely. But you were never meant to experience life the way the crowd does. Something in your awareness has been sharpening, like a lens slowly coming into focus. And if you felt drawn to this message, it is because a part of you already senses that your season is changing. Stay with me until the very end of this message, and when you do, write your warmest wishes in the comments and write 99 because your words carry energy, and what you release now will return to you. And if you feel this message is for you, stay connected to this space so you don't miss what comes next. There is a reason the word watch appears in this message. Watching is not passive. Watching is awareness. It is the quiet discipline of observing the movements of life before they become obvious. In ancient teachings, awareness was described as a lamp inside the body. When that lamp is lit, a person begins to notice patterns that others miss. Small coincidences, unusual opportunities, suddenly aligned conversations, doors that once remained closed beginning to loosen their hinges. What you are experiencing is not merely about money. Wealth is only the surface expression of a deeper internal shift. The real movement begins inside your nervous system, inside your breath, inside the silent electrical rhythm of your brain and heart. Your body is not just flesh. It is a living receiver. Your brain processes signals, your spine carries impulses like a river of light, and your heart translates those signals into decisions that shape your path. When these systems begin to align, a person moves differently through the world. Scripture hinted at this long ago, though most people read it only on the surface. In Deuteronomy 8:18, it says, "But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the power to create wealth." Notice the wording carefully. It does not say wealth itself is handed to you. It says the power to create it is given. That power is not merely external opportunity. It is an internal alignment, a clarity of mind, a steadiness of heart, a sharpened awareness that allows you to see what others overlook. This is why your wealth shift often begins quietly. Before visible change arrives, something reorganizes inside your perception. You begin noticing patterns in conversations. You start sensing timing more clearly. Ideas appear suddenly in your mind as if they were placed there. Many people ignore these signals, but you are beginning to recognize them because the shift has already started. Right now, I want you to try a small process, a practice used for centuries in different spiritual traditions to stabilize awareness. Sit comfortably for a moment. Take a slow breath in through your nose and imagine the breath moving from your lungs down along the length of your spine, as if the spine itself were a channel carrying light. Then exhale slowly and feel that breath moving outward through your chest and heart. Do this 3 times. Breath in, spine steady. Breath out, heart open. What you are doing is simple but powerful. Your nervous system begins synchronizing the brain and heart rhythm. When these rhythms become coherent, your decision-making sharpens. Your reactions slow down. You begin acting from clarity rather than impulse. And clarity is the soil where wealth begins to grow. Not everyone understands this. Many people believe wealth begins outside, in circumstances, luck, or connections. But ancient wisdom repeatedly pointed inward first. The external world tends to follow the internal structure of thought, perception, and disciplined attention. That is why awareness is the first stage of the shift. If you look closely at your life right now, you may already notice early signs. Moments where your intuition speaks louder than before. Situations where you instinctively avoid paths that once distracted you. Conversations that suddenly open unexpected directions. These are not accidents. They are signals. Another scripture often misunderstood appears in Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Most people read this as purely emotional advice. But there is a deeper meaning. Your heart is the center of your attention and intention. Whatever dominates your inner focus begins shaping the structure of your life. If your focus is scattered, your path becomes scattered. If your focus becomes steady, opportunities begin aligning around that steadiness. And that is where the shift begins revealing itself. Because wealth rarely arrives as a single dramatic moment. Instead, it emerges as a series of small alignments that gather momentum over time. Like the tide slowly rising before anyone realizes the shoreline has changed. Right now, your task is not to chase anything. Your task is to watch. Watch how your thoughts change. Watch how your instincts sharpen. Watch how certain opportunities begin appearing repeatedly. These are the early signals of movement. And the most important thing to understand is this: not everyone will recognize what you are beginning to notice. Many people move through life distracted, reacting instead of observing. But awareness changes everything. In the next part, you will begin to understand why this shift often starts silently inside the mind before it becomes visible in the outer world, and how the structure of your thoughts may already be preparing you for a level of financial alignment you once believed was far away. Chosen one, something inside you has been quietly reorganizing, and that is why this moment matters more than it first appears. Most people believe transformation announces itself loudly. They expect a dramatic event, a sudden breakthrough, or a clear external signal. But the truth is far more subtle. The deepest shifts begin in silence, inside the invisible architecture of the mind and body. And if you have felt an unusual stillness in your thoughts lately, or a growing sense that something is aligning beneath the surface of your life, then you are already standing inside the early stages of the shift. Not everyone will recognize what is happening to you. In fact, most people will miss it completely. Because the world is full of noise, distractions, and endless signals designed to keep attention scattered. The majority of people move through life reacting instead of observing. They chase movement instead of understanding direction. But something about you has begun to change. Your awareness has become more deliberate. You have started to pause before acting. You notice details others overlook. And this difference may seem small on the surface, but spiritually and psychologically, it changes everything. Your brain is not just an organ that processes information. It is a receiver of patterns. Every thought you hold repeatedly begins shaping the neural pathways that guide your decisions. Over time, those pathways become automatic. They form the lens through which you see the world. And when your perception shifts, your actions begin shifting too. This is why wealth often appears suddenly to observers, but never suddenly to the person experiencing it. Internally, the shift has been happening for a long time. Scripture quietly points toward this inner transformation in Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Most people read this verse as moral advice, but its deeper meaning speaks directly to transformation of perception. Renewing the mind means reorganizing the inner patterns that guide thought and attention. When those patterns change, your decisions begin moving in new directions, and decisions repeated over time create entirely new paths in life. That is the stage many chosen individuals enter before their financial reality changes. The shift begins in the mind, but the mind does not work alone. Your brain, spine, heart, and breath operate together like an integrated system. When these systems become synchronized, your awareness becomes sharper, your intuition becomes clearer. You begin noticing the subtle movements of opportunity before they become obvious. This is why ancient spiritual teachings often focused on the spine and breath. The spine is not merely a structure holding the body upright. It is a channel for communication between the brain and the rest of the nervous system. Every thought, impulse, and reaction moves through that pathway. Right now, I want to introduce another sacred process, a technique used to stabilize internal clarity. Place your attention gently on your breathing again. But this time, as you inhale slowly, imagine the breath rising from the base of your spine upward toward the center of your brain. Picture a quiet line of light traveling upward through the center of your body. Then, as you exhale, imagine that light spreading outward through your chest and heart. Do this slowly, breath rising through the spine, light spreading through the heart. This process may seem simple, but something powerful happens when attention moves along the spine like this. Your nervous system begins shifting from tension to coherence. When coherence increases, mental clarity increases as well, and clarity is the environment where wise decisions are born. Most people underestimate how much their internal state affects their external outcomes. They believe success is purely a matter of effort. Effort matters, of course, but effort without clarity often leads to wasted energy. Clarity focuses effort like a beam of light. This is why the chosen often move differently from the crowd. They observe before acting. They wait for alignment rather than forcing movement. They sense timing. This awareness creates a quiet advantage that others cannot easily explain. You may have already experienced moments recently where a sudden idea appeared in your mind, or where a conversation unexpectedly revealed an opportunity, or where you felt guided to avoid something that later proved unwise. These moments are not random. They are signals that your internal perception is sharpening. Another verse hints at this hidden awareness in Matthew 13:16. But blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. The meaning here is deeper than physical sight. It refers to perception, the ability to recognize truth or opportunity when it appears. Many people look but do not truly see. Many hear but do not truly understand. But when perception awakens, the world begins revealing patterns that were always present but previously invisible. That is the stage you are entering. And this is why the message says your wealth shift has already begun. Because wealth does not start with money. It starts with awareness. When awareness sharpens, your choices begin shifting. When choices shift, your direction shifts. And when direction shifts, the external world gradually reorganizes around that new trajectory. Most people only notice the final stage, the visible results. But you are witnessing the beginning, the internal alignment, the quiet reorganization of thought, breath, attention, and intuition. And there is something else happening that many people never understand. As your awareness rises, certain environments, habits, and even relationships may begin feeling different. Some will feel supportive, others may suddenly feel heavy or distracting. This is not coincidence. It is your perception becoming more refined, and refinement naturally filters what belongs in your life and what does not. This process can feel mysterious at first, even slightly unsettling, but it is a natural stage of transition. As your internal clarity increases, your external path begins adjusting to match it. In the next part, you will begin to understand why the chosen often experience a period of quiet separation before their external success becomes visible, and why that stage is not isolation, but preparation. Chosen one. By now, you may already feel it. The quiet shift that began inside you is no longer just a subtle sensation. It is becoming a structure, a new internal order, and once this internal order forms, the outer world eventually begins to reflect it. That is the part most people misunderstand. They believe wealth appears first and confidence follows, but the deeper truth is the opposite. A certain internal alignment appears first, long before the external evidence becomes visible, and this is why the process often feels lonely at the beginning. Because when your awareness begins to sharpen, your perception separates you from the patterns that most people follow unconsciously. You start noticing how many decisions around you are driven by fear, impulse, distraction, or short-term thinking. You begin sensing the difference between movement and direction. This is why many chosen individuals experience a period where their circle becomes quieter. not because something is wrong, but because your inner frequency has changed. The scriptures hint at this mysterious transition in Isaiah 30:21. Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." Most people read this as a poetic metaphor, but for those who begin paying attention, it describes a very real internal guidance system. When your mind becomes still and your attention becomes disciplined, subtle intuition begins speaking more clearly. Not as a loud voice, but as a quiet knowing, a direction, a feeling of alignment. And when you follow that alignment consistently, your path becomes increasingly precise. This is where the wealth shift truly accelerates, because wealth does not flow toward chaos. It flows toward clarity. Your brain begins forming new patterns of perception. Your heart becomes steadier. Your breath slows. Your decisions become more intentional. And these changes alter the way you interact with opportunity. You start seeing value where others overlook it. You start recognizing timing where others rush. You begin sensing which paths deserve your attention and which are distractions disguised as movement. And this is why your body itself becomes part of the process. Your brain processes information, but your spine stabilizes your focus. Your breath regulates your nervous system. Your heart maintains emotional equilibrium. When these systems operate in harmony, your awareness becomes extremely powerful. That harmony is something the ancient traditions tried to protect and teach, because once a person reaches that internal coherence, their actions begin producing results that appear almost mysterious to others. But they are not mysterious. They are simply aligned. Right now, I want to show you one final sacred process that strengthens this alignment. This practice is quiet but extremely effective when repeated daily. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a slow breath in through your nose and imagine the breath entering your chest and filling the area around your heart with light. Then pause briefly. Now exhale slowly and imagine that light moving outward from your heart into the space around your body. Breath in, heart filling with light. Breath out, light expanding outward. Repeat this 5 times slowly. What you are doing may seem simple, but something important happens during this process. Your attention moves away from scattered thinking and into the center of your body. Your nervous system begins stabilizing. When this stabilization occurs, the brain begins producing more coherent signals, and coherent signals create coherent decisions. This is where the real shift becomes unstoppable. Because when clarity becomes consistent, your actions become consistent. And when actions become consistent, the results begin accumulating. This is why the message told you earlier that the shift has already begun. You are not waiting for the change. You are inside it. Every moment of awareness you practice strengthens the structure forming inside your mind and body. Every time you observe before reacting, you refine your perception. Every time you choose clarity over impulse, you strengthen the path that leads toward expansion. Another scripture speaks directly to this unfolding process. In Luke 16:10, whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. This verse is often misunderstood as a moral instruction about responsibility. But its deeper message is about internal readiness. When your mind becomes disciplined with small decisions, it becomes capable of handling larger opportunities without collapsing under pressure. That readiness is what prepares a person for expansion, and expansion is rarely given to those who are not prepared internally to sustain it. But something about you is changing. Your awareness has begun sharpening, your attention has begun stabilizing, your perception has begun deepening. And when these 3 elements align, life begins revealing opportunities that were always present but previously invisible. This is why not everyone will understand your journey. Many people will continue moving through life distracted by surface events, reacting to circumstances rather than shaping them. But you are beginning to move differently. You are beginning to see patterns beneath events, signals beneath conversations, timing beneath opportunities, and when you learn to trust that awareness, your path becomes clearer with every step. The shift will not always appear dramatic. Often it arrives quietly, a new idea appearing in your mind, an unexpected conversation opening a door, a decision that seems small but changes the direction of your life. When you observe these moments carefully, you will begin to recognize the pattern, because your wealth shift is not approaching, it has already started. And from this point forward, the most important thing you can do is remain attentive. Watch your thoughts. Watch your instincts. Watch the opportunities that begin appearing repeatedly. Because when awareness, discipline, and timing align, the path that once seemed distant begins unfolding step by step. And if you have felt something awaken inside you while hearing this message, it is because this transmission was meant for those who were ready to recognize the shift already happening within them.